do you think you would list as the most important in today's workforce? Let's talk about middle managers then. You talked about reskilling and upskilling. What kind of skills do you think are good to be prioritized in today's workspace?
Yeah, from our perspective, always it starts with self-awareness. I think it's the most critical skills managers should start with. Go within first, understanding who you are, what are things that you do really well, your strengths, what are things that, hey, your limitation, you struggle a little bit. Your values has to be clear. Are you expressing those values how in the way that you lead, in the way that you help the team to show up? Are those values along with organizational values? And how do you make sure that are you in the right place? I think where this is where it starts. Then after that, then you can think about team, all the other skills to manage the team. I was just thinking that as we talked about, middle managers, they're dealing with a lot of adversity, they're dealing with a lot of challenges, and there will be a lot of moments that challenge their confidence, challenge their ability, and challenge their mental resilience. And in order to have that clarity and being mentally ready and be resilient, they have to know what they can bring, what are things that they can do really, really well.
So that is where the self-awareness comes from, because it's quite a fresh. I mean, we are in the self-development space. I'm quite familiar with it, but in the corporate world, it is not that common. When we talk about skills, we talk about self-awareness. A lot of it is technical skills or communication skills, sales skills, those kind of skills, right? I'm just curious, how does self-awareness actually help a leader in whatever capacity to lead better, and how does that then help the company, whether it's in terms of their teamwork, whether it's in terms of their cohesiveness, or even impacting the return on investment at the end of the day?
I think maybe I touch on three things. One, it's about self-awareness can help with that mental resiliency. So when you're self-aware, you know how you contribute, you know your qualities, you also know your limitation, then you can confidently say, oh, okay, I'm able to tackle it. I have the capacity, or I'm enough, to deal with the situation. Or I need to work on these skills, so because I might struggle a little bit. I think the second thing is, then once you know yourself, you can also know how you can bring people that complement you. People could be similar like you, where then, hey, you guys can go faster and better together, or people that might be different than you, but then it complement what you don't have. I think that the third thing would be you are a little bit more empathetic in terms of how you work with others, because through self-awareness, you're aware of other people's capacity, and to be able to managing your emotion, managing whether it's your blind spot or your triggers much better, so that you show up with always a positive or more healthy energy when you're managing the team.
I think those really help. That makes sense. I mean, before, when I was in corporate, it was very not talked about, the self-awareness, right? It's always about the hard skills or the soft skills, they call it, but it's very little focus was about knowing you yourself as a person, or rather me myself as a person.